What's up, Kid Life? Hopefully I'm not going to be talking to you too long, but here's the plan. We moved this to a digital-only format. Number one, safety and just to kind of calm people's nerves, but also because I want as many people participating in this brainstorming process as possible. And so I thought flipping it to digital only would get us more people involved rather than less people involved, for more campuses rather than less campuses. And so that's the plan. So here's what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to run you through what we know about VBS right now. After that, I'm going to explain kind of the process of brainstorming and how it's going to move forward and launch us out to do that. So let's talk about VBS. VBS 2022 is kind of exciting because this is the year that VBS is a Tier 1 event. Now, all that means is that we have all the central creative resources you could imagine. And so as a result, we made the decision to not do a VBS based upon Orange curriculum, but instead to create our own content. And so as a handful of us kind of gathered and prayed and really sought the Lord, asking what direction he had for us in 2022, worship just kind of resonated and rung in our midst. And as we began to talk about kind of the phrase that we kind of threw out is, what if VBS 2022 was kind of a kids worship conference? There was a definition of worship that kind of cemented us on this direction. It's simply this: worship is my response to God's awesomeness. So you can see worship is really comprised of two pieces. One is noticing, seeing, and appreciating God's awesomeness. And number two, my response that comes from that. And so as we talked about what VBS would look like, we really talked about the main sessions being this time that we come together to lift up God's awesomeness, helping our kids to see who God is and who he could be for them. And then breakouts and the other pieces of VBS would be an expression of their response to that awesomeness. And then the theme, so as we landed on that direction as far as the content, the theme, we're very excited about it, is going to be a family road trip, right? Because family road trip, you get out in the country, you see all that Arkansas, the United States, all that land has to offer, and you see the land from this side and that side. And so why not? Because that is the very thing that we're trying to do with God, is help these kids experience all the aspects of God's greatness and his awesomeness. So also it contributes well to some really fun elements that we'll talk about as we talk through the nights. So here we go. Here's the 4 nights, the 4 kind of packages of VBS. So night 1 is it's all about God, our creator, right? So the main point is God made me and made me like him. And kind of the response, the point of that is that, man, God made me, so he gets to make the instruction manual. He gets to determine the way things operate, right? And so one of the things that we're going to do is the family in the narrative video, they are going to be going camping that night. And so everybody is going to be invited to dress for the great outdoors, right? So dress camping, mountaineering, rugged, whatever, right? Like dress for the great outdoors. So that'll be night 1. The Bible story, as you might guess, is the creation story. And so it's going to be an exciting night, right? So that's night 1. That's where we're going. The great outdoors. God made me and made me like him. Night 2, we're going to tell everybody dress for a beach day. Man, that's the thing. The family is headed to the beach, so we're going to dress for a beach day. And the aspect of God's greatness, the main point is this: simple. God provides. But we're going to look at the story where we get that name of God. Yahweh Yireh, right? Jehovah Jireh, depending on which way you want to say it. But really, the story that we get Jehovah Jireh from is the story of Abraham offering Isaac. And so the story of God provides really is a story of opening your hands in sacrifice. And so we're very excited to show kind of that connection during that night, that God provides, but our response is to open our hands and let go so that he can provide. So that's night 2, right? The great outdoors, night 1. Beach day, right? Everybody's just from the beach day. Night 3, our family that we're following in our narrative videos, they are going to experience a power outage. We're going to find out whether one of them has an insane fear of the dark. And so that kind of theme, we're going to invite people to dress and get excited about light up the night. So glow sticks, pull out those portable Christmas lights that you have stored up in the attic, right? Wear all kinds of light. It's going to be an exciting night and a time of gathering when kids are going to be dressed up in all kinds of lights. It's going to be fun, right? But the thing that we're going to be talking about that night is Jehovah Shalom, Yahweh Shalom, right? This idea that God, and this is the main point, God is peace. We thought about doing it, God brings peace, but then we realized that the way that God brings peace is the fact that God is peace. And so the family is going to learn that the way that you fight fear, the way that you fight worry, is that you invite God into the situation, and his presence, him coming into the situation, is what brings peace to my heart, brings peace to the situation. And so we're going to be looking at the Bible story is going to be the place again where we get this story, where we get this name of God, and it's in the story of Gideon in Judges 6, 7, and 8. So it's going to be exciting. So that's night 3, right? Night 4, which is family night, traditionally, is going to be this. It's going to be God with us. So Immanuel, that's the name we're going to be looking at. God with us is on a mission. And one of the things that they're going to walk away with is I'm on a mission with Immanuel, right? I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But the Bible story, of course, is telling the Christmas story, but it's telling the Christmas story in a way that it's not just Jesus going on vacation. It's God sneaking behind enemy lines and initiating a countercultural kingdom. We're not going to use that phrase at all, but we're just going to be talking about the fact that God sent Jesus to raise up a new kingdom of priests. Again, not going to use that phrase, but communicate that idea. And that as he started this new movement, this new people, he did it in a way that he then handed it off to his disciples to continue the mission, that same mission. And on this family night, you families in the crowd, we're inviting you to also kind of take on this mission that Immanuel started. And then one of the things we're going to do is in the video, they're going to get a little baby Jesus token. And so I think we're going to produce some sort of on a mission with Immanuel button or sticker or something, so that we can send it home with families so they take something tangible to remind them that they are on a mission with Immanuel, which means God with us. So that's the content direction, right? And that night, of course, you're dressing all up for Christmas, and your family night party is Christmas in June, which I think is going to be so much fun. And so that's kind of the direction that we're going. So let's talk about what the next the weekend looks like and what the process of brainstorming the different items looks like. So when you go back to the document that you were sent, yes, you see the link to this video, but down below there's all kinds of brainstorming topics. And pretty simply, all you're going to do is you're going to click into any of those that you have an interest in contributing ideas. We want as many ideas as possible because sometimes we got to wade through 8 bad ideas. And again, get the ideas on paper because you don't know even a bad idea can trigger a good idea. So if you've got ideas in any of these areas, get in, write them, copy and paste, like screen capture and different things, pull in pictures of things that we can use and ways that we can incorporate it. So that's the cool thing about having a document is you can pull in not just speaking ideas and not just words, but actually pull in pictures, pull in videos, pull in links to songs so we can hear them and know them. And so I'm very excited just to see all the content that we can get because we're not having to just brainstorm verbally, but we can literally get on our computers and pull things in. And so each of those documents will then have directions explaining kind of what we're looking for, what we're asking you to think about, and then kind of how we're going to capture it in a way so that we can, those of us who are taking those ideas and then creating useful documents from them, we're going to ask you to leave your contact information. So if we want to follow up with you to get clarification or further develop an idea, that you're available for that. So again, here's the cool thing. Is that from the time we started talking about this, I guess it was December or November, when some of us first started talking about this, that there's been this growing momentum as God has been leading us, because here's what we know is that God wants to be exalted. You see, if I wanted to be exalted, you would call me arrogant and proud, because I am not worthy of being exalted. But God, when he wants to be exalted, he is rightfully evaluating the world, because he is the only one that is worthy to be exalted. And so, again, I'm just telling you, there is just the favor of God on this, the momentum that's building in this pursuit. And so I'm just excited that you are now going to be taking your part, playing your role in developing these ideas. And I can't wait to see how all your ideas become practical plans by April and May timeframe. So thanks for being a part of this. Reach out to me if I can help in any way.